If you're looking for a super affordable intake for your 2011 and newer Hemi that will pack a whole bunch of flash, well then you found it, my friend. The SR Performance polished intake that we have here today will be one of the most affordable options in the category by a pretty hefty margin, and will be a direct bolt-on, no tune required intake that can be had for right around that low $100 price point. Now, since most, if not all, aftermarket intakes bolt on without any crazy modification, including this one, expect a relatively simple 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here and about an hour or so to get everything knocked out. So let's just cut right to the chase and call this thing what it is, and that is a budget or entry-level intake. Now, it's not going to have some of the more elaborate features such as a fancy sealed airbox or maybe the roto-molded plastic intake tube with brand names stamped all over it. Instead, this thing, the SR option, is as bare bones as it gets. However, it is one of a handful of options in the category currently available with a chrome or polished finish. Your other options are going to be from K&N with their Series 69, and that is going to be far more dough compared to the option that we're talking about here today. So again, the SR, all business, definitely budget friendly, but if you know that going into this, then it's certainly gonna be a solid option. So with that out of the way, what can you expect here outside of that polished aluminum intake tube? Well, obviously you have the reusable high flow oiled filter along with all of your couplers and hardware and heat shield needed to get everything in place. Now the heat shield itself, again, certainly not one of the more elaborate designs by any stretch, but it will help blocking out some of that hot engine bay air from entering the filter or the intake itself. But ultimately, guys, if you want a true cold air intake, well then going with a slightly more expensive sealed enclosure is really gonna be the only way to help achieve that. Again, guys, the SR Performance option here can be used either with or without a tune at this time. It is not currently CARB certified, so owners out there in California, just keep that in mind. Now, what about some other benefits here? Well, outside of the aesthetics, for those of you guys into the flash of the polished finish, you can also look forward to things like a little bit more throttle response, a healthy increase in volume coming from under the hood under hard acceleration, thanks to that open element design, and finally a small bump in power. Typically we're talking, mid to high single digit range, low double digits, nothing really crazy here without a tune, but certainly some gains to be had. But now comes the time in the video where we want to shift gears and just show you what it takes to get the SR option installed on your Hemi at home. So as promised, guys, here is a detailed walkthrough and a quick tool breakdown now.
Tools for this install: a ratchet or electric ratchet, a 7mm socket, an 8mm socket, and a 17mm socket. Start by pulling up on your engine cover if you do have it installed to simply remove it so we can get to what we need to remove. Next, unplug your harness from the side of the intake tube, and then your hose from the side of the airbox. Now take your 8mm socket and undo the clamp at the throttle body. And taking that same 8mm, undo the bolt in front of the airbox. With the clamp undone and the bolt removed, you can now remove your cold air intake from your charger. Now, because our kit does provide new hosing, go ahead and remove the stock hose. Now, before we can get our new intake in, we will need to reuse our mass sensor, so we're gonna pull that from our stock unit. Simply twist counterclockwise and pull outwards of the tube. Now place your sensor into your new elbow fitting. Now take your reducer and place that onto your throttle body and your elbow coupler and place that over. And using a 7mm socket, tighten up your clamps. And plug in your sensor. Now taking the rubber grommet, place that into the hole right in front of the reservoir. Now take your new heat shield and put it in place. And secure it with the kit provided hardware as well as your stock hardware. For your stock hardware, once again, it's an 8mm socket. And for the kit provided hardware, it's a 17mm socket. Now with another kit provided clamp and your intake tube, attach that to your elbow. Once again, tighten that down with a 7mm socket. Take your remaining coupler and place that onto your intake tube. And tighten the clamp over the tube section. Now take the filter adapter and place that on the other side of your heat shield into your intake tube. And tighten down that clamp as well. And finally, place your filter onto your adapter and tighten up that last clamp. Now place your new hose onto your intake tube. And replace your engine cover. Now that's going to wrap it up for our review and install of the SR Performance Cold Air Intake fitting your 11 and newer Hemi Charger. Thanks for watching, guys, and for more videos just like this, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.